So I put electricity through the liquid in roots, and depending on how the electricity is flowing, the crystal is forming, and then there's an animation software in the back that checks how the crystal is forming and kind of reacts to that again. So it's actually always the material who does one step, and then the software reacts, and the electricity that goes through the whole thing comes out again and is put through a filter, and this is what makes up the music in the end. So I don't think so. From my point of view, what I think about is as interesting is not the technical part. It's like the thing I have to use to achieve the ideas or the workings of the combination of image and sound, and this kind of creational process. So I never think about the technique of how to use. I rather hate it because it's a real pain, and I'd really like to work more with people who really have ideas about it. Because for me it's always like a totally invisible enemy. So I just have to guess what the problem is. Yeah, the Ohrwurmbeschleuniger was in a way very similar to the Roots project in the way that I use a very small space and try to use its complexity, to don't understand the complexity but use it for something I want. And in the case of the Ohrwurmbeschleuniger, I had it's a German-based, a German language-based project. It stands for a catchy tune, but it's also a kind of an insect that crawls into the ear and starts to live there. And the metaphor was to shoot some of them into each other and see what happens then in the microwave field. And I had some 6 like phono needles that picked up the microwave pattern, and you could kind of super collide them and adjust the whole process with the cooking program. But it was it's very much connected to Roots because it's also got something very, mixed up, chaotic, and in the end you don't know what's going to be the outcome, but it's going to be more or less destroyed or working. You just don't know, and it kind of composes itself during the process. I mean, it's like with using a microwave oven for the Ohrwurmbeschleuniger. It's like that you connect music with junk food, for example. It's like you could put in something very quickly. You just turn the knob and quickly something new comes out. It's like would be the perfect musical composition tool for your kitchen, for example. You can shape and model your mood in the morning. Take it with you and see what happens during the day, whether it's a good one and sticks in your ear and accompanies you during the whole day or not. The purpose was actually to model the mood where you can perceive it all. It's not about I don't think about it as a huge metaphor for life, but rather as a kind of a painting that kind of a painting with other means that is redoing itself, and the sounds of what it really does. I model it so that you get the right, like in a soundtrack for a movie. You don't Mickey Mouse what you're seeing, but you rather try to model the perception, but to do it in a kind of inner logic way, not too directly connected and not too loose, but it needs to go together. I'm thinking about a few projects, like extending the approach towards roots to take it back to, because now I'm using it in a very spacious way, but I tried to make it rather flat and solid and connect it with some other like cell shock ideas I have, and like cultural conditioning metaphors, but I'm not really sure what I can make out of it. It's like I have an initial impulse, but I never know what comes out in the end. I'll use some musical styles, and like an Austrian sculptor did I think in the 19th century, like making character heads, like typical characters in a very basic expression. I'd like to use these musical styles and make some sculptures that deal with that.